What if I told you that the solution to stop feeling bloated and heavy lies in 2 simple cups of tea a day? I am Dr. Emma, and after more than 20 years working with patients who come to my office feeling uncomfortable with a swollen abdomen and that horrible sensation of constant heaviness, I discovered something that completely changed the way I approach digestive problems. It's not a magic pill, it's not an expensive treatment, it's something so simple that when I mention it, many people look at me skeptically. But the results speak for themselves. Before we start, let me know in the comments where you're watching this video from, so I can see how far it has reached. I remember perfectly when Maria, one of my 8-year-old patients, came to my office. She sat in the chair carefully, as if every movement caused her discomfort. She told me she couldn't remember the last time she felt light, that every meal was a battle, and that bloating was her constant companion. She had tried everything: restrictive diets, very expensive supplements, treatments that promised miracles. Nothing worked in the long run. I asked her something that surprised her. "What do you drink during the day?" She looked at me confused. Coffee in the morning, sodas sometimes, water when she remembered. I proposed a 2-week experiment, just 2 specific cups of tea a day. She looked at me as if I were joking, but accepted because she had nothing left to lose. Let me explain exactly what happens in your digestive system when you incorporate this simple habit. Your digestive tract is like a complex highway where everything must flow properly. When you eat, your stomach produces acids, your intestines contract in rhythmic movements, and billions of bacteria work to break down food. But stress, age, certain foods, and the modern lifestyle can turn this highway into a total traffic jam. This is where the teas I'm going to recommend come in. I'm not talking about any supermarket tea. I mean specific varieties that have scientifically proven bioactive compounds. Peppermint tea, for example, contains menthol, which relaxes the muscles of the digestive tract. Imagine your intestines are tense, tight, working twice as hard as necessary. Menthol acts like an internal massage, allowing everything to flow naturally. When Maria returned after those 2 weeks, her face said it all. Even before she sat down, she told me, "Dr. Emma, I can't believe it." The bloating had noticeably decreased. She felt lighter, with more energy, and most importantly, she had recovered something she thought was lost: comfort in her own body. Chamomile tea is another powerful ally. For years in my practice, I have seen how people underestimate the impact of stress on digestion. Your brain and your gut are connected in ways we are only beginning to understand. When you are stressed, your digestion literally shuts down. Chamomile contains apigenin, a compound that calms the nervous system and, by extension, calms your digestive system. It's like giving your body permission to relax and do its job properly. Now, ginger tea is my top recommendation for those who feel their digestion has become sluggish. Ginger stimulates the production of digestive enzymes and speeds up gastric emptying. Think of it this way: instead of the food just sitting there, fermenting and causing gas and discomfort, ginger helps move everything efficiently. I have seen patients who had suffered from chronic constipation for years find real relief with just 2 cups of ginger tea daily. But here is the secret many overlook. The timing of when you drink these cups matters as much as the tea itself. I recommend the first cup after lunch. That time of day when many people feel that heaviness, that need to lie down. Instead of reaching for another cup of coffee that will only add more stress to your system, have a cup of peppermint or chamomile. You will notice how in 15 to 20 minutes, that uncomfortable fullness begins to lessen. The second cup is strategic, after dinner or as an afternoon snack. This is the time when your body is preparing to rest, and problematic digestion can completely ruin your sleep. How many nights have you stayed awake because your stomach feels upset or heartburn won't let you be? That cup of tea, especially chamomile, prepares your digestive system for a peaceful night. I have another patient, Lucia, who confessed to me that she had become a slave to antacids. She carried a bottle in her purse, another in the car, one in the kitchen. When I suggested replacing that habit with 2 cups of ginger tea a day, she was honest with me. She thought it was nonsense. But she was spending a fortune on medications that only masked the problem, so she decided to try it. 3 weeks later, she sent me a message that I still keep. It said, "Doctor, I've gone 5 days without taking a single antacid. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I feel incredible. It wasn't a coincidence. It was her body responding to something natural, something that not only suppressed symptoms, but helped the root cause of the problem. Now, I know what you're thinking. It sounds too simple to be true, and that's exactly the point. We live in a culture that has convinced us solutions must be complicated and expensive to be effective. But after 2 decades working with people of all ages, I can tell you with absolute certainty that simple and consistent habits are what generate real and lasting transformations. I'm not saying this tea will cure serious medical conditions. If you have severe or persistent digestive problems, you need to see a professional. But for most of us who just want to feel better, lighter, with more energy and less bloating, this habit can be absolutely transformative. The key is consistency. 2 cups daily. Not 1 week yes and 2 no. Not when you remember. Every day, as part of your routine. Just like you brush your teeth. Just like you apply your facial cream. Turn it into a self-care ritual that also has tangible and measurable benefits. So here's my challenge to you. 2 weeks. 14 days of 2 cups daily of the tea that resonates most with you. Observe how you feel. Pay attention to your energy, your abdomen, that general sense of well-being. I'm willing to bet you will notice the difference, and when you do, you will understand why this simple habit has become my #1 recommendation to feel lighter and regain digestive wellness. Let me tell you something I discovered years ago working with my patients that completely changed the way I understand digestion. You see, many people come to my office complaining about that uncomfortable feeling after eating, that bloating that makes you feel heavy, as if you were carrying an inflated balloon in your abdomen. And the most frustrating thing is that many times they don't know what to do about it, trying everything without real results. I especially remember a patient named Carmen. She was 62 years old and told me that after lunch, she always needed to loosen her pants because she felt like she couldn't breathe properly. She told me she had tried all kinds of pills and remedies, but nothing seemed to work consistently. That's when we started talking about something as simple as tea, and believe me, her life changed radically. What many don't understand is that our digestive system is like a delicate machine that needs constant care. When we eat, especially large or heavy meals, our stomach and intestines work twice as hard to process everything. And this is where the magic of these teas comes in. We're not talking about an instant magical solution, but a real and scientifically proven support for your digestive system. Peppermint tea, for example, has properties that relax the muscles of the digestive tract. Imagine it as a gentle massage from the inside, helping everything flow better, reducing those uncomfortable spasms that cause gas and pain. When you have a warm cup after eating, you are literally helping your body do its job more efficiently. Chamomile goes a step further. It not only calms your mind, which we all know greatly affects our digestion, but it also has natural anti-inflammatory compounds. Think of all those times you feel an irritated or sensitive stomach. Chamomile acts like a soothing balm, reducing that internal inflammation you didn't even know you had. And ginger. Ginger is my personal favorite. It has an incredible power to speed up gastric emptying, which means your food doesn't get stuck, causing that endless heaviness feeling. Also, it stimulates digestive enzymes, those little workers that break down food so your body can absorb all the nutrients. The best part of all this is consistency. It's not about drinking tea only when you feel bad, but turning it into a daily habit. 2 cups a day, 1 after lunch and another after dinner, or maybe 1 as a mid-afternoon snack. This simple ritual sends signals to your body that it's time to relax, to process, to let go of what it doesn't need. Carmen, that patient I told you about, wrote to me 3 months later excited. She said she no longer needed that mandatory nap after eating because she didn't feel heavy, that she could enjoy family meals without the constant fear of bloating, and all thanks to 2 simple cups of tea a day. So now I ask you, how much longer will you let that digestive discomfort control your day? How many more meals will you end feeling heavy instead of satisfied and energized? The solution is closer than you think, waiting for you in every steaming cup you decide to have. I want you to understand something fundamental that I have observed throughout all these years of attending to patients. When you start drinking tea regularly, you are not only improving your digestion, you are completely transforming the relationship you have with your body. It's as if you finally begin to listen to it, to give it what it really needs, instead of bombarding it with quick fixes that only mask the problem. Let me explain exactly what happens in your body when you make this habit part of your daily routine. After about a week, you will start to notice that your abdomen doesn't bloat as much after meals. That feeling of wanting to unbutton your pants begins to disappear. And it's no coincidence those natural compounds in tea are working constantly, preparing your digestive system to function optimally. At 2 weeks, something fascinating begins to occur. Your intestines start to regulate naturally. You see, when you support your digestion so consistently, your whole system synchronizes better. People who suffer from constipation notice they go to the bathroom more regularly, effortlessly, without the discomfort that used to be part of their daily life. And those who deal with the opposite also find a perfect balance. I have another patient, Lucia, who confessed something very personal. She told me that for years she had avoided going out to eat with friends because she knew she would end up feeling so bloated that she just wanted to go home and lie down. Imagine living like that, depriving yourself of important moments for fear of how your body will react. After a month of drinking ginger tea religiously, she sent me a photo from a restaurant with her friends, smiling from ear to ear. That message said more than 1,000 words. What makes this ritual special is its simplicity. You don't need expensive or complicated ingredients. You don't have to follow impossible restrictive diets. Just hot water and your chosen tea. Twice a day. It's so accessible that anyone can do it, regardless of age or physical condition. And precisely that accessibility is what makes it sustainable in the long run. But here comes something that few people really understand. This habit also affects your daily energy in surprising ways. When your digestion works well, your body isn't spending all its energy trying to process difficult foods. That energy that was once lost in internal struggles is now available to you to live, to enjoy, to do the things that really matter. My patients tell me they feel more awake, more vital, as if a hidden weight they carried unknowingly has been lifted. And do you know what's the most revealing thing of all this? That the solution to years of digestive discomfort might be waiting for you in something so everyday, so simple that you probably already have it in your kitchen. While you read this, your body is still waiting for that support it deserves, that small but powerful change that will make a huge difference in how you feel every day. Now, let me share with you something I have discovered after so many years observing how this simple habit transforms lives. There is a specific moment, usually around the second month, when something almost magical happens. People stop constantly thinking about their digestion, and I tell you this with complete sincerity. When you reach that point where your body simply works without you having to think about it all the time, when you no longer plan your day around where the nearest bathroom is, that is real freedom. I have seen people who have tried everything, literally everything. Expensive supplements, extreme diets that leave you hungry and miserable, complicated treatments that require elaborate preparations. And in the end, after spending so much money and emotional energy, they find the answer in 2 simple cups of tea a day. Sometimes I wonder how many years of well-being we lost, searching for something complicated that was always there, waiting for us in the simplest thing. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. When your digestion improves in such a natural and sustained way, other aspects of your health also begin to change. Your skin looks clearer. That dull glow you had returns. Your sleep improves because your body is not struggling all night with difficult digestion. Even your mood lifts because there is a direct connection between your gut and your brain that science is only beginning to fully understand, but that I have seen manifest in my patients again and again. The fascinating thing is that each type of tea brings its own unique benefits. Mint is like an immediate soother for that heavy feeling. Chamomile works more deeply, relaxing the entire digestive tract in an almost therapeutic way. And ginger is the warrior that activates everything, that gets things moving that were stagnant. You can rotate them, depending on how you feel each day, listening to what your body is asking for. And here is what I really want you to understand. This is not another temporary trick. It is not a fad that will disappear in a few months. This is giving your body something it should have always had, a constant and natural support that works with you, not against you. It is reconnecting with an ancient wisdom that we have been losing amid chemical and processed solutions that promise miracles but deliver very little. Think about this for a moment. 2 cups a day, that's all. not even half an hour of your total time. And in return, you receive a digestive system that works as it should, a comfortable abdomen that doesn't embarrass or limit you, energy you thought was lost forever, and that wonderful feeling of lightness that makes moving through the world a pleasure again instead of a constant struggle against your own body. So I leave you with this question that I want you to really consider. How much longer are you going to keep carrying that discomfort that feels so normal you have almost accepted it as part of you? Because the truth is this: your body is waiting, literally waiting, for you to give it this chance to show you how it should feel to live without that constant burden. And it all starts with a decision, as simple as preparing your first cup. Look, I know that right now you might be thinking this sounds too simple, maybe even too good to be true. And I completely understand, because we live in a world where we have been conditioned to believe that real solutions have to be complex, expensive, or hard to come by. But let me tell you something I've learned after 2 decades working with people just like you. The deepest and most lasting transformations almost always come from the simplest changes, those so accessible that we almost overlook them while searching for something more impressive. I have had patients come to my office with bags full of supplements, each promising to be the ultimate solution. They spend fortunes month after month, swallowing pills all the time, and yet they still feel that constant discomfort, that stubborn bloating, that heaviness that accompanies them from the moment they wake up until they go to bed. And then I tell them about tea. I see that skepticism in their eyes, that look that says without words that if it were so easy, they would have tried it already. But when they come back after 2 months, after 3, the skepticism is gone. There is gratitude, relief, that light in the eyes of someone who finally feels good in their own body. What moves me the most is when they tell me they have regained things they didn't even know they had lost. The confidence to go out without planning every detail around their digestion. The freedom to accept an invitation without that knot of anxiety in their stomach, wondering how they'll feel after eating. The simple joy of waking up feeling light, ready for the day, instead of already carrying that invisible weight that drains your energy before you even start. And here is the beautiful part of all this. You don't need to wait months to feel anything. Many people tell me that from the very first week, they already notice changes. Maybe it's not the complete transformation yet, but it's enough to know something is working. That first morning you wake up and your abdomen feels different, more comfortable. That first afternoon when you finish eating and you don't need to loosen your pants. Those small moments build something bigger. They create a new normal for your body. Think about how many things you have already tried. Think about how many promises you have heard that were never fulfilled. And now think about this. Something so accessible that you can literally start tomorrow. Something so natural that your body recognizes it and receives it as what it always needed. There is no risk. No strange side effects, no dependency on something you can only get in specialized places at impossible prices. It's just tea. Plants that have been helping humanity for thousands of years, patiently waiting for us to remember their power. So here we are, at the end of this conversation, but potentially at the beginning of something completely new for you. And I know right now, you're at a crossroads. You can close this and continue as always, carrying that discomfort that already feels so familiar, or you can make a different decision. Because the most important truth I can share with you is this: your body has an incredible ability to heal itself when you give it the right tools. And sometimes, just sometimes, that tool is as simple as 2 cups of tea a day. The question is not whether it works. I have seen it work too many times to doubt it. The real question is, are you ready to feel this good? Because the well-being you are looking for, that lightness you remember or have never experienced but know should exist, is waiting for you. You just need to take that first step and brew that first cup.